Moi! Suomelle is a series of documentaries or videos that search for answer to some very obvious question that I've been asking myself over a large period of time. I've been guided to give priority to Finland in this vast field of unsolved issues. And the motivation for this will become more transparent with the publication of each new episode of the series. The videos are published in English due to the fact that Finnish people, with their level of education, can understand them with a simple use of Finnish subtitle. Subtitle, which are also available in other languages, in the links below and on my YouTube channel Life Kreationz. At this point, I won't lose any more time presenting the series, and I will start straight with the topic and the introduction of the first episode, Thinking Linear, which is a different and unique episode due to the extensive use of Google Earth. The pictures appearing on the screen now and throughout all the series of documentary are mostly a collection of personal photographs, and only a small part originate from internet sources. I will actually start not in Finland, but I will present you with some very peculiar discoveries that I've done in Canada that highlight the similarities between the topography of the two countries. I will ask the listener to continue watching the video in full screen to appreciate the detail of my presentation, trying to find a logical explanation for this very strange worldwide phenomenon. As we close up toward the northwest of beautiful Canada, between the Northwest Territories and the provinces of Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Manitoba, we crash, literally crash, into some very peculiar, I love this word, cannot find a better one, lines. Can you see them? What are they? I mean, certainly they are not natural. They are everywhere. And along with the presentation, I will zoom closer and closer to show that they are there and to try to find an answer about their existence. In this moment, we are seeing at least two different kinds of line. One kind is the straight one, incredibly straight one, by the way. The second kind is more irregular, and it forms this strange rectangular figure of very big proportion. And in both cases, we can see a clear modification of the terrain due to their presence. In this moment on the screen, I am showing the area of Canada that I will present in the next few minutes. I mean, it's enormous. Only the area that I've been studying around this very strange crater-looking formation can be 1,500 kilometers in length and 1,000 kilometers in width. So I'm really looking for help in researching this vast, unexplored and remote area of the country. Because in this video, I only show you a very short overview of this line. However, the entire north of Canada and Alaska is covered by these grids. And in some areas, the lines continue underwater in some lakes, clearly proving that they were made when the landscape was different. Can you please just look at them? I cannot say that all of them are really present on the ground or that they are some sort of image defect, because they are different kind of lines. And the area are so remote that we have a hard time just getting near them physically. But most of them, I'm sure, are present in reality, due to the evident modification of the nature surrounding them. In this video, you will see them on every continent and every kind of terrain, desert, swamp, frozen, remote, and largely populated areas. In this case, there is a very strange land formation, some kind of scratched hills, and the lines are there. Crossing hills, forest, dry and wet areas, as if the terrain level doesn't affect them. Like with any road or walkway in use for daily purposes. They are just too perfect, too straight, and too absurd. They just keep going and going, forming triangles over triangles, an extremely interesting geometric formation. If we keep just following this geometric pattern, we stumble upon many lakes. And as we can see, the lines turn around them, clearly proving that they are not an imaginary mistake, but definitely present on the ground. They are just everywhere, in every color and shape. Can you see these extensive grids of line shown on the screen? They are huge. I can continue forever showing you these lines. I really don't have any explication. A lot of hypotheses, but no explication. And this video is dedicated to look for answer and proof. So I'm not gonna give any personal opinion, but only ask to the listener to send me some pictures, videos, or ideas concerning this topic. What are you seeing is staggering. Gigantic area of the world are covered by this unknown phenomenon. Look at these grids. I mean, it's almost creepy. I will let you enjoy a few minutes of this Canadian line, accompanied by our soundtrack, before introducing the lines in Finland, United States, Namibia, Australia, and finally Russia. I find that the name that I chose for this episode, Thinking Linear, is the most adequate. Thanks, by the way, to Danny's brilliant mind. And linearly thinking, I really don't have any idea of what these lines are. And I'm sure that the explanation is very easy and logical. But I don't catch it. I just don't get it. As we can see in this case, again, the lines are of the kind that I've shown earlier, forming that weird rectangular figure. They really look the same. Can you see them? Creating these large signs on the ground, and always in company of our straight lines. I would like you to look at them carefully because you will find similarity with other lines that I will present later in this video. And then we have an even better resolution of this forest in the remote northern Canada with the presence of our lines. And we will now abandon these Canadian lines to continue our journey in the old continent of Europe. This Canadian lines mystery is actually very tricky, and I'm not the first one dedicating a video about their existence. But I've personally researched the next lines that I will present you, and I could not find anything about it. No pictures, no video, no written mention in magazines or newspaper. Probably because everybody knows what they are, how they were made, and who made them in such an extensive network over almost all the entire north of Finland. On the screen at this moment, we have the map of Finland with its interesting geography. As I close up toward the northern provinces called Lapland, the city of Rovaniemi is visible. In this case, the area, on the contrary of Canada, is actually largely populated, and in consequence, there are many roads, fields, and other modern infrastructure. Moving just a few kilometers south of the city, we can start to appreciate some linear formations. But the lines I'm presenting to you look older. They look as if printed on the ground before the recent time construction. Also in this case, they are everywhere. Can you see how they are forming these rectangles and all kind of figures? What is this? Pay attention to this particular strange swampy area, or whatever it is. The lines are too perfect. And what are they doing there? How old they are? Now I zoom out of the area of Rovaniemi to bring you in the place where, to me, they are the most impressive in precision and proportion. The area of Salla, in the east of Lapland. Again, we can observe that the areas where these lines are present are more yellowish or eroded by the elements. Getting closer, we can see the size of this complex of line compared to the actual size of the town. It's a huge area. I just cannot believe what I'm seeing. Again, I'm sure that all of the Finnish people know exactly who made them, how they managed to go so straight over different terrain, and why so perfectly straight, and when they were built. But I don't. Can somebody please send me some picture or information about them? I would like to dedicate an entire documentary about their construction. It's a colossal network of lines and geometries. The people that are behind its creation must be super masons. But the question remains, what are they made of? To me, it's just unreal. Some are actually remote areas, and the lines are under the current vegetation. The area along this river is staggering. But how is it possible to create all of this under the entire north of Finland? The precision of this geometry is pure art. The people that made those lines made them with passion and devotion for their existence. We will now leave the impressive area of Salla to direct our research for answer in the area of Pajala, or Pajala. I think that I pronounce it well. I hope not to offend anyone making mistake in the pronunciation of places, but my Finnish is based just on a few key words, like vesikirpu, rautakanki, or apina. Because even if I speak several languages, I found problems memorizing this ancient language. And also in this area, north of Rovaniemi, we can appreciate the same background. Massive line complexes, covering very large area of the land. I will now bring the viewers to the magnificent area of Unari Lake. I think that at the beginning of the documentary I show a picture of the area whose beauty is comparable with all the rest of Lapland. In this case, we can see a winter scenario. Everything is covered with a thin layer of snow, but the lines that cover the entire land are clearly visible, forming these peculiar drawings all over. Please, come on, what are those things? They even look like fingerprints in some areas. They are awesome. Can you see the area of that lake? The lines look very old. Also, that small triangle close to the river is very weird. What is this? It's just not possible. I don't understand. Guys, I need your help in this one. I will now show on the screen some related looking lines from California and Florida, presenting them closer to the ground. And the similarity with the Finnish one is very evident. However, they are some 10,000 or some 15,000 kilometers away. I also present these pictures to introduce the listener to the New Earth channel, which is my favorite research group in this moment, and the magistrate job that has been done by them. As we can see, the channels look flooded. So when they were made, the geometry that they form is definitely the same, but the environment has changed drastically, leaving these lines underwater. Now I will switch to a completely different morphology of the terrain. This again is an area that I personally studied. I could not find any related video of this particular region of the desert of Namibia. And again, the lines. Same look, creation of the same pattern and geometric figure, same modification of the natural environment around them, same unreal precision. But this time in the desert. As I already mentioned, I love the documentaries of the New Earth channel, and after the publication of this chapter, I will present some of their work, and one of their videos in particular is about Africa and its lines, along with other very amazing presentation about this mystical land. And you will see lines not only in Namibia, but the entire region covering South Africa, Zambia, Botswana, and so on, is full of strange drawings on the ground. Giant spirals and other strange signs covering very large areas of the African continent. What I'm presenting on the screen in this moment is very incredible to me. Can you see the pattern that they form? I really don't know what to think.
Ba 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 si ba ba oh oh si ba 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 si ba ba oh oh si ba 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 si ba ba oh oh si ba 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 si ba ba oh oh si ba 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 si ba ba oh oh si ba 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 si ba ba oh oh si ba ba.
This is a good example. We can see a normal road, clearly curving following the terrain. But our lines, instead, just keep going completely straight. I will let the viewers enjoy a few more African lines before moving us to Australia.
Ba 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 si ba ba oh oh si ba 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 si ba ba oh oh si ba 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 si ba ba oh oh si ba 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 si ba ba oh oh si ba 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 si ba ba.
And now, let's jump to Australia. If we close up on the southern provinces of the country, but I could have chosen any other area of the large desertic land of this country. And again, lines all over. The similarity between the morphology of the terrain that I just presented in Africa and this one is obvious. Obvious as the similarities between this enormous line formation, showing clearly many places where they join together, proving their presence on the ground. And again, I will announce an amazing presentation about Australia right after the publication of the first chapter of Suomelle from the New Earth channel that will even show picture of them from the ground and showing that they are actually very wide in size, eliminating the theory about them as a common roads. I will now bring you, for our last linear thinking, to an area that has fascinated me for a very long time. It is my dream corner of the world as a traveler, the Urals mountain. Again, as we zoom closer, a giant grid of lines appear. Not only in the area enlarged on the screen, but you can find them all over the entire mountain chain. But I will not talk, as with the other countries, about these lines. But I will start introducing the next episode of this series of documentaries, ending the first chapter and starting the second one in the same region of the world. The goal of this creation is at this point very clear. I need proof of the existence on the ground of those lines, or proof that debunks their presence in the real world. Please, Auntie, when the snow disappear in the cold Lapland, can you pick up Nico, Yoni, Harry, and Ville? Go see these lines and send me some picture or a video. I will proudly present it on my YouTube channel Life Kreationz. By the way, I miss you guys and all of the beautiful people of Rovaniemi. Well, I hope you've been entertained by the production, and I leave you on a note of suspense, as I will not reveal anything about the next episode, except that its topic concern the ancient origins of the Finnish language, subject that passionate me over the years that I was living in Finland. Thanks for listening and watching. I will end this video with a list of places where I have been traveling in this search for answer called life.
Shalankunia, skare vingnar, shalankunia, shakandagan huvan,